defend, because NATO is afraid of World War III, but it is already started. And these are Ukrainian children who are there taking the hit. You're talking about more sanctions, Prime Minister, but Roman Abramovich is not sanctioned. He's in London. His children are not in the bombardments. His children are there in London. Putin's children are in Netherlands, in Germany, in mansions. Where are all these mansions seized? I don't see that. I see that my family members, that my team members are saying that we are crying. We don't know where to run. This is what is happening, Prime Minister.
Well, for your questions, and thank you for getting here today. I'm glad that you have been able to get here. And look, I just want to say that I'm acutely conscious that there is not enough that we can do as the UK government to help in the way that you want. And I've got to be honest about that.
Right now, Russia is zeroing in on Ukraine's capital, and our next guest is describing the grueling reality of day-to-day life in Kyiv right now. In a piece for The Atlantic, Ukrainian journalist Veronika Melkoserova writes, quote, "Every night I close my eyes thinking I might be next on Putin's death toll list. Westerners would rather help Ukraine with weapons and money, but stand aside. People in these countries are scared of World War III. I understand the fear, but don't you understand that World War III may have already arrived?"
The reality has drastically changed. And here in Ukraine, we feel that the World War III already started.
President Vladimir Putin testing a new intercontinental missile and President Donald Trump's medal. From a Moscow command center, Putin watched the hypersonic missile leave its launch tube and, according to the Russians, strike a target 3,700 miles away, declaring it invulnerable to intercept. Russia says it can be armed with a nuclear weapon and travel up to 20 times the speed of sound. Without confirming the results of today's test, the Pentagon has acknowledged that America is vulnerable.
We don't have any defense that could deny the employment of such a weapon against us.
Adding urgency to the Pentagon's own plan to develop an American version.
The hypersonics is a game-changing technology, and that's why it's so important for us to embrace it.
And how far are we from actually fielding that technology ourselves?
So I think we'll put a hypersonic system in the field before 2023.
Russia first touted their hypersonic missile in March with an animation showing warheads flying towards Florida.
Both offensively and defensively, the United States military is working very hard on hypersonics. We are in an arms race.
But for Putin, his new missile is a perfect New Year's gift.
I give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Recha HaKodash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom also to you other followers, you brethren, you even you few sisters, and shalom to the elect. Anyway, I want to go here on this video. I'll just dive right on into it. You see the situation with Putin and Zelensky, Russia, Ukraine, America. And you see that, well, Biden was offering the help to Zelensky, President Zelensky. And Zelensky wants more than the help. He wants armed soldiers over there. But even the UK and these other nations know that if America does go over there and put bodies on the ground, as I'm talking about as a warfare, then you have what you call World War III. But we almost must go into the fact that there's things that must happen before the destruction of Babylon, right? So what I kind of got out, what I saw that was kind of crazy, Putin, he has a new kind of weapon, right? He has a new weapon, and America says, well, we have to catch up. So these are the same people, when someone is caught in school with a knife or a gun, then you're not allowed to have a knife or a gun. These are the same people that tells us to have morals and domestic violence and family structure. And these are the same people that will bomb your house and kill your wife, your children, first of all, your husband. So you can see the hypocrisy and the moral standards of this man and his whole system on both sides, right? You can't have a weapon to protect yourself, but these people have weapons of mass destruction, right? And then America says we need to keep up with that kind of technology, meaning if they shoot the missile here, which eventually will happen, right? And they wind up shooting the missile here. What difference is it going to make if you make some supersonic missile or not? What difference is it going to make? It's a lot of missiles set up to come here. So you can see this is all ego, arrogance, and pride. I mean, this goes to Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. You know, this is what they do. These two nations, and these nations can build weapons of mass destruction to destroy the planet if need be, which we know is just going to be America. But when it comes to your defense, there's not many self-defense laws. You know, they're quick to lock up somebody who shoots, and which rightfully so, who's shooting all over the place and bullets striking innocent people. But I'm speaking of on a moral aspect of it. These people are shooting rocket launchers, missiles, right? Dropping bombs, mother of all bombs, on villages and people. And this is all moral, right? This is morale. It's because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. We keep saying that. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Let's go to 2nd Ezra 15, because there's things that's going to happen before there's just some all-out nuclear war. In fact, there's a scripture that says, such as the days of Noah, that people were eating and drinking and giving into marriage until a flood came and took them away. This flood of fire, right, this time. But before it was water. But you're going to have chaos, but then you're going to have people who live in good, right? It says, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. This also goes when people claim book was written by man, right? Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them that trouble thee, that speak against thee. You know, these unbelievers. That's what incredulity, I believe, means, unbelievers. Let me get to the point. I will hold my tongue, verse 8, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me. It says, and the souls of the just complain continually, right? And it goes on to say, and therefore, saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. You know, this is also going to men who, like Abba Bivens, and men that's been in the truth, that as great men that's passed in the Lord, and men and some women, sisters who passed in the Lord, but the men who passed in the Lord, and you know, the men who's doing the work. You know, there's going to be payback for what was done to the children of Israel. Even as a nation, what these people have done, man. It says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite them with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. You know, so that's these missiles that's going to be set to destroy Babylon. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plagues and punishments that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua shall bring upon it. Right? So, basically, there's going to be all hell that's going to break loose before the actual missiles. And that's pretty much what the video is going into, the missiles. But we had to, let you, bring out the fact that there will be a crash of the economy, we believe. Well, we know. It's just a matter of time. And you see this so-called thing spiking back up and things are happening. So we living in some serious times at this point. It says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power, depending on what you have. If you got a gun and that person has a knife, right? So Babylon won't be on fire when this is happening. This is going to happen before Babylon gets on fire, be set on fire. And ultimately, the Lord put the children of Israel out of their misery and first delivers the elect. And we start setting the kingdom up and bringing this man down to his place, which rightfully so. Matthew 24:7, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. I mean, all earthquakes with commotions and distress. This is what we just read, and the Apocrypha and Second Esdras. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So that's the beginning of sorrows. Then you're coming in the time of Jacob's trouble, right? The sorrows, man. So anyway, I don't have much to go on this. I just wanted to bring that out, to the fact that Putin builds a supersonic missile that he says is untouchable, right? So America says, well, you know what? Let me build, and let's catch up, and let's build a supersonic missile. Some of it's smoke and mirrors, but some of it's to be legitimate. So these are the same people that rule the world. They're not the rulers of the world, they're actual rulers of the world, but they're in place to set forth the heads of the world. And they're telling you that, in your schools, and I understand there's order, but even in your house, you got to shoot somebody a certain way to protect yourself, to prove self-defense. They got to be at the front door or something crazy like that. But these guys, right, these what, can create weapons of mass destruction. And the thing is, how does people, I know the Most High is the one that set it up, but it's crazy to see how the sheeple and the people stand to believe in a society that's set up under total destruction. That's how the place was founded. That's how it was built. And that's how it's going to go out. Right? Let's get Jeremiah 50:14. Let me go up. Because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited. Talking about Babylon, this place, but it shall be wholly desolate. Every one that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hissed at her plagues. This is also written in the book of Revelation 18. It says, put yourselves array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows. And that's why these missiles are being created, For she have sinned against the Lord. As I did a video a while back. I had a vision that I was at a gas station and people were screaming and crying. And this was like a real vision. Okay, and for some reason the missiles was in the gas station under the ground. They had the silos under there. That's ironic. So I wonder if under most gas stations, do they have something like that under those gas stations, you know. You never know. But it came up out of the ground, and it flew up about 800 feet and turned around and came back down and exploded along with the gasoline. And men were sounding like women. People were scattering. Police cars was left open. It was an apocalyptic event. So we looking forward to the coming of the Lord, man. But these things must come to pass. Jacob's trouble, you know, the crash of the economy, the charagma, and then the internal instruction, and then the ultimate destruction. Anyway, that's all I have on that. Shalom.